This is the moment in the show where Sean starts yawning and expresses that he's bored with how serious we've gotten and cracks a joke about male genitalia. Sean, what do you got for us?
I can make something up. I'm just listening.
To put you on the spot.
No, right this moment. Okay, let's put someone on the spot. Let's come up with an analogy. I'm thinking about how, when you're drunk or when you know someone else that's been smoking some marijuana, and the whole time they're like, "Man, I'm so drunk. Are you drunk?" Or they're like, "I'm so high. Are you high? How high are you?" And they're basically looking for some kind of like they want to know for certain that they're not alone in the state of mind that they're in, and they want company.
Sure.
And it's absolutely important, and they're reassuring you. I think making noise during sex is pretty much the same thing.
Really?
I definitely think it can be, but that's sad.
It's not.
I think it
are you
can be,
as
but
ripped
but
as me?
I dispute that.
And you can help someone, and they know like they can relax. They're like, all right, I don't have to hide that I'm totally ripped right now or drunk or whatever.
I think that's probably like
or enjoying yourself.
That's the prostitutes. Isn't that the prostitutes' angle? That's like what they do, right? Yeah, it's like
if you're lucky. that's a lot. That's a lot of acting to ask for.
I suppose maybe I'm just paying more than you guys.
One would think the fee would include the acting.
Exactly.
I guess so.
But that might be.
I wouldn't claim to have a great deal of experience in this arena.
Oh man,
please.
This would actually be a segue. I can throw this out since we're not going to do this on the topic. Like recent reading, I looked a lot into just different things with the evolution of infidelity and some startling, especially troubling. Well, I don't know. It goes both ways, whether you're a man or you're a woman. There's some troubling discoveries, and one of them is that when a woman's cheating on you, she's much more likelier to have a real orgasm, and and in addition to that, they speculate that that's one reason they're much more likely to fake an orgasm when they're with the partner that they're normally with and that they're not cheating on. And the thought there is that they're encouraging you that basically everything's good, in the same way that maybe a husband who's cheating will make sure that he shows some sexual interest in his main partner.
I'm all paranoid now.
Yeah, dude, it gets worse, man. It gets worse. There's like, when a woman cheats on you, she's far likelier to do it when she's at the most fertile time in her cycle. And let's see, I'm just gonna throw a bunch of this random stuff out here since.
So you can just like put a lockdown on like around that time. Like, sorry, we're staying in tonight.
Well, if you look at it, actually, if you look at the history of, basically, depending on cultures and different points in time, the way that men's insecurity and their fear of being cuckolded has led to just like really harsh cultural restrictions, down to when you had, kings that had full-blown harems and the restrictions they placed on the girls and women in there. It kind of fits the profile. But the main thing in the story of it and what it has to do with evolution is just that, the key difference, of course, from an evolutionary perspective between men and women is that one, a man can be cuckolded and a woman never can, which is just to say that, if a woman has a child, there's 100% chance that it's hers, whereas, a man's never certain of that up until, recent, which are negligible as far as evolutionary history goes. There's certainly no time to react to paternity tests as far as your genetic makeup goes. And then and then likewise that a man can impregnate as many women as he could possibly, as are willing to have sex with him, whereas a woman can only have one child every 9 months at most, unless of course she's having twins and stuff. But and those two key differences, it's interesting just how much of what we understand. I don't want to be too deterministic about it, but how much of what we understand about the way that men react to women and jealousies and specifically the sorts of things that make people of each gender jealous fit in with that. But another interesting thing on that whole, like, I'll just keep it to the anecdotal stuff. So we've known for a long time that primates, the bigger their nutsack, basically, the more promiscuous they are. So say, for example, like a gorilla, which has a harem, and there's almost no chance that he's going to be cuckolded, because for another male to impregnate, one of the female gorillas in his harem, he has to basically fight him and get into his territory. So he basically goes around. The silverback goes around with his harem of women, and he has the tiniest nuts and blows the tiniest load, because there's no chance that he's going to deal with someone. Whereas if you go to like bonobos or other species that are entirely promiscuous, they have enormous nut sacks and they blast huge loads because they're basically competing against other sperm inside.
On like sheer statistics, you're just trying to have the most ammo.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You're trying to have the most ammo. And there's similar things where like there's different bird species where they'll actually irritate the cloaca of a female bird, right before they mate with them or something. And it causes them to eject anything that they've already got in there. And so, I mean, depending on some animals, like actually sperm competition gets really, really bizarre. But in humans, the interesting thing is that we've known in certain other species of animals that, like, if you separate the male from his partner, like in more monogamous species, he'll blow double the load when he has intercourse with her. And they found that sure enough, it's the same in humans. So like if you've been with your wife all day long and there's no, you can account for every single moment of her time, your load's going to be a lot more measly than if, she was away for a couple days, or, there's a big gap in time and you weren't certain, you can't account for actually what she was up to. You're going to blow a bigger load.
Well, we wanted Sean
I will
to speak
undertake
up,
a measurement of this.
How do they this is the gross stuff about how they actually figure this out, because likewise a woman is far more likely to retain sperm with copulatory orgasms that they have that they're more likely to have while cheating. So it's like, I mean, there's total like war of the sexes happening there.
Yeah, that's crazy.